Hello and welcome to a book review by Warhammer 40k bookreviews.com. Today I'm taking a look at Baneblade by Guy Haley. The super heavy tanks of the Imperial Guard represent the pinnacle of the destructive potential of the Emperor's hammer. Sporting thick walls of armor and apocalyptic guns, they are mighty war machines only committed to the most important of conflicts, and the most famous of these super heavy tanks is the titular Baneblade. Baneblade, the novel, tells the story of the young Imperial Guard officer Bannick, who has left a comfortable life on his home planet to serve the Emperor as self-imposed penance for a dark secret in his past. As Bannick's force is deployed on the planet Kalidar to cleanse the planet of Orc invaders, events quickly unfold that result in Bannick getting a chance to serve aboard the Baneblade Mars Triumphant, a post that brings great honor but also great risk. The story continually switches back and forth between the war on Kalidar and flashbacks to Bannick's past and the events that led up to him joining the Imperial Guard. It's a pacing that breaks up the grittiness of the brutal war against the Orcs with some more introspective and sedate storytelling, but I could not quite get into the personal drama about Bannick's old life and found myself quickly wishing for these passages to be over as I was reading the book. If the personal drama of Bannick is a little weak, this is at least made up for in some really great descriptions of the war against the Orc invaders. Guy Haley manages to excellently capture the atmosphere of a grand Imperial campaign in full force, and the horrific spectacle of the hammer of the Emperor being brought down upon the fierce greenskin menace. An enjoyable, if not deeply developed set of characters also do their part in making Baneblade feel like an intriguing look into life as an elite tanker in the Imperial Guard. The crew of Mars Triumphant make for an interesting group, and Guy Haley manages to flesh them out just enough to where they don't feel like complete one-dimensional cutouts. I also have to comment that Baneblade is a great example of a Warhammer 40k novel that manages to give some very entertaining and interesting insight into the Orcs, much like the book Siege of Castellax. It's always enjoyable for me to see Orcs given a role that is fleshed out more than simply being a huge green tide of murder. Ultimately, my final impression of Baneblade does suffer from Bannick's flashback storyline that just never clicked with me. It feels like Haley is trying really hard to evoke a certain sense of empathy and tragedy, but it comes off as rather heavy-handed and forced, even if it does serve to give a better understanding of Bannick's motivation and personality. Aside from this irritating thorn, however, I think Baneblade is quite an entertaining war story, and if you're a big fan of the Imperial Guard or their big badass tanks, then I would warmly recommend you reading Baneblade. And Baneblade is also a good choice for newer readers, I would say. I give Baneblade 3 out of 5 chainswords.